Okay, so this is a SketchUp model for the Cinemaworks demo room. It's quite early, but I'd got everything kind of laid out the way I wanted it at this point. And firstly, I want to talk about the seating layout because I think it's good. You see a lot people kind of taking the village hall approach where it's like, how many seats can we get in here? And you end up with seats kind of on the side walls or at the very, very back. And I didn't want that because those extra seats around the edges are very compromised. The thing is, firstly with speakers, as you get too close to a speaker, it doesn't just get louder like that. It gets louder like that. It's many, many times too loud if you're sitting right by it. And you know this from going out to dinner and restaurants and stuff. Sometimes you're right by a speaker and it dominates everything. So I didn't want that. I didn't want that for the listeners in here. And also, if you're too close to a wall boundary, you can always hear that. You know, the CEDIA recommended practice, RP22, specifies heads shouldn't be any closer than 50 centimetres at least from a wall boundary. And that's pretty easy to achieve, you know, with a thick, chunky sofa. That's pretty straightforward to do. And also, you know, I kind of wanted to optimise the budget. So I wanted some really, really nice seats, and I've got some at the front. And I wanted to do something a bit more affordable with kind of a bar and bar stools at the back, knowing it was secondary. You know, I sit there during demos, or I sometimes do work from there and that kind of thing. But for a room this size, it's 5 metres long, and I wanted to be a nice, good amount back from the screen so that the screen could be nice and big without being too big and overwhelming. So, you know, the metrics for screens are important. You can do it the other way. If you've got to have 2 rows of soft seats in here, I'm not so purist, I'll say no. You know, I'll say let's make it as good as we can. In which case, you drop the back 2 surrounds. It's important that they're not there, actually, because otherwise if the back row are right by there, it makes it worse. It makes it worse for people who are sitting there. So I'd say just ditch those channels. And then the front row will probably just move a bit further forward. And generally speaking, that means a slightly smaller screen. Experience-wise, that's great. It will be slightly less impressive in the pictures, and I believe that that's less important and will still make it look amazing, of course. But yeah, this layout, if there's a few of you, and if these are guest seats, and if these are best seats, I think this layout for a room this size is going to work exceptionally well because we've taken out all the bad seats. Everyone gets a good experience, and that's what we want, right?